Hello everybody, and thanks for tuning in today for today's speed painting. This speed painting is one that I did about a month ago and took about probably a little over 10 to 12 hours from conceptualization to the finished product. And the painting is 30 by 40 on gallery wrap canvas. And with this particular painting, I wanted to try something new and draw in a more of a reference background, which is something that I hadn't done previously before. I would just, try to paint and just kind of guess outline where things would go. And this was really helpful to take a black marker and etch in the shades and tone areas where I would be painting over. It was quite a challenge to film a piece that ran into 12 hours, so there's a lot of stopping, but it allowed me to experiment with glazing with the oil, which allowed me to work over time on a piece which also I hadn't done. So lots of neat little discoveries with this painting. Working on the skin took a long time, mostly the hands and feet for the details, but this part allowed me to experiment more with burnt sienna for the darker tones and the more shaded areas. I also used some phthalo blue, just some viridian green for the tones. But again, the glazing proving to be really indispensable when you're working on a painting that's going to go into a week or more. You can come back and blend in those colors again. I also tried to experiment with a dreamlike background, and that was the reason for the background painting, just with the loose colors. I was just trying to feel it out, but I ended up painting over most of it with more blues and skylight colors, and just to put more of the doves and the dreamlike atmosphere in its own space. With the skin, it was a lot of layers and a lot of detail work, like around the ears, around the hands and feet. So really important with the glazing. Kind of one of the most important things I learned with this painting was, glazing can definitely help and allow you to just come back and layer in. Out of the painting, the hands probably gave me the toughest time just to get that blending. And then once that was done, I could go ahead and work into the foot area and get the same kind of matching look. Once happy with the most important part of the piece, which was the girl and the skin tones and the shading, and once I felt that was all tied in, then the next important thing was the detail of the rose. So I used a lot of purples and reds, like cadmium red, just to create a sense of contrast. I feel that spending most of your time on the more complicated parts of a painting is going to make it easier as you get towards the end. Then it's just a matter of layering a bit and tying in that whole balance of the painting. This rose was a lot trickier than it looks. It took quite some time. I think I spent a day just on that rose. But once that out of the way, the doves were fairly straightforward, just with the titanium white and some blues. And same with the overall look of the flowers, was just to sort of create balance and blend back into the painting. This is the more fun part, where you get to kind of freestyle a little bit and just, you know, tie in everything, tie in the look of the whole painting. Here I start painting over the sort of underpainting and just to create a softer look. If you want a softer look to your painting, I find it really helps to add titanium white to most things. That kind of creates this sort of dreamlike soft look, and that's what I was going for with this painting. So like anything with art, you're just gonna keep experimenting and growing, and I felt like this painting was a huge step forward for me. It's definitely probably one of my top favorite paintings I've done to date, so really happy with it, and I hopefully my work keeps evolving. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below.